My younger self, what's your story?
To my younger self, what's your
To
story?
my younger self.
To 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 my younger self. To my younger self.
To my younger self, what's your story? To my younger self, what's your story?
Well, hello and good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? It is wonderful to see you. And can I just say it is wonderful to be back? We were traveling last week. It was a little bit of a doozy, but we managed to pull it off and we are back, right? Well, my name is Zoe Baraka. Of course, the show is To My Younger Self. We're telling stories, current stories, past stories, stories that will be told in the future, that will propel us into our original destiny. You know what I mean? And so come on in, welcome. Listen, if you get here, do me a favor, go into the comment section and greet me. I want to hear from you. I want to hear you say something to me in your local dialect. I want you to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night if you are getting ready to go to sleep, for those of you in that side of the world. So yes, you are most welcome. Today is a very exciting day. I mean, needless to say, it is always an exciting day on To My Younger Self, because our guests are just that incredible and they have that many incredible stories. Without further ado, let me go ahead and kind of just greet you from some parts of Africa, because that's what we do. And listen, bear with me. It is hot as all get out in this part of the world. And so if you see me sweating and I find a paper to fan myself, just go with the flow, right? Actually, just join me and fan yourself. Alrighty. Baraka dazwa to you. Sanunku dazwa ya de kakwana lafia. It is wonderful to see you. I hope you slept well. You dreamt well. I am greeting you in the Hausa dialect here. Ken tuma duawela. It is wonderful to see you. I just greeted you also in my father tongue or my native tongue, the Kasal. It is wonderful to see you in Dinao to you. Wezo, Leke. Do you speak Ewe? I just greeted you in the Ewe language. Thank you so much for joining us. It is wonderful to see you. I greeted you in some languages of the Ashanti people or the Akan dialects. Thank you so much for joining us. Sawubonani to you. If you speak Zulu, it is wonderful to see you. All of our South African friends, how are you doing? I'm doing this because somebody's moving something. I don't know what it is. They're moving some lights and I'm kind of getting weird about it, but don't worry about me. Mbela to you, Ibio Kibari to you. It is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Te Oyo Tang, OJ Ko to you. As always, we're greeting all of our Ga friends. Thank you for joining us. Lalle to you. If you speak Chadian Arabic, from the bottom of Africa, thank you so much for joining us. Ekaro to you. Ekabo, how are you doing? It is wonderful to see you. Nagadef to you. If you speak Wolof, how are you? Thank you so much again for joining us. Jambo to you. Habari gani? Habari ya usubwe. Karibu sana to you. If you speak Swahili, Kotong to you. Amuhalang to you. Do you speak Sesotho? How are you doing? I'm kind of just going through the greetings because, hey. Nyase Aloy, Damilaki, how are you doing? I greet you in the Bisa language, the people of Burkina Faso, and of course, Ghana. Kotoli to you. If you speak Fofodi and you are Fulani, we say welcome to the show. Bom dia to you, Akei to you if you speak what they call that, Creole. And I also just greeted you in Portuguese. Bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias, imaraba. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is great to see you. Let's go in there and see who is in the room. Doctor. Oh my goodness. Today we have Dr. Joshua Mogri. Wow. What did we do? Where did we sleep? Desoba, to you, it is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Vivian, I don't know what you just said. Tina Milo. Okay, I think you're kind of greeting me in another version of Eve. So I greet you back. Weza to you. Greetings again to those of you in Florida. It is wonderful to see you. Listen, where is everybody? Hit on that share button and share. Tell people something amazing is about to happen, okay? Alrighty, let's just run with the show today. I am going to introduce you to our next storyteller. So originally we had, today is actually supposed to be an author's corner situation like we always do every last week of the month. But our guest, Ohinayeri, had to move some things around, and we had to move some things around with her. And she will be here in a week or two, but we had to switch things around. And our next guest storyteller was so gracious with us to, just come on and share some things that have been happening in his life and in the life of his school children. Because when he was here last time, we did a thing, all of us as a community, as a village, we did a thing for his class, his school children. He's a teacher. And you guys came through and you showed out and you did something incredibly amazing. They got to go on an excursion paid for by our audience right here. It was like magic. You guys were just sending in your donations and your love gifts like crazy. And so they got to go on an excursion on your dime. And he's here to kind of tell us how that may have changed their lives, okay? So Sir Don Francis is a professional teacher at the Gomoa Afranse SDA Basic School in the central region of Ghana. He has slowly become a really good little brother to me personally. He is a firm believer in change your world, thus transformation is possible beginning with each of us. Come on, we're starting on a good note already. He's a product of the University of Cape Coast and then also the Atibubu College of Education and Ghana Senior High Secondary School. He has a passion for the well-being of basic education in Ghana, and he employs the use of social media and technology to sustain his call for better education in Ghana. He is also a writer, social media strategist, youth advocate, and technology enthusiast. He has recently established a community library for his learners to help in their development. And there's a lot of you who have come together to keep donating books to that library. Most recent of them is our very beautiful Honorable Charlotte. We want to say thank you for doing what you did. That was just incredibly wonderful, incredibly gracious of you, Charlotte, to say thank you. I dare say he is an excellent communicator, a well-crafted master storyteller. I am very honored, very humbled, and very excited to introduce you to the ever-smiling, young, and venerable Sir Don Francis. Without further ado, guys, do me a big favor as we just welcome him into the room. Hi, where is he? Where are you? Why is it dark where you are? Hello? Hiya. Oh, Ghana internet. I'm tempted to speak some Chi and use some words, but I won't do that yet. Anyway, as we wait for him, we'll kind of just go in and kind of tell you some of the things they did. So in February of last year, so Sir Don Francis was a storyteller, a guest storyteller on the show. And as he was, there's some feedback, guys. I don't know what's going on. What's going on today? All right, listen, Don, we cannot hear you and we cannot see you. So do me a big favor. If you want to back out and then come back in again, we'll be very grateful. I know that the internet service in Ghana and where you are especially is really, really not so good. So can you go back out and then come back in again, please? And thank you. Anyway, so what you guys did was that as he was talking about his children and what they do and how he got this container and got it into a library and all that great stuff he's doing as a teacher, and I remember, I think I asked him what's one of the greatest things he would like to see accomplished in the school. And he said that he'd been dreaming about sending his kids on an excursion to Accra, because even though they live in Ghana, they have never been to some of the landmarks in Ghana, like the airport, the Black Star Stadium, or when I was growing up, I think we used to call it that Accra Sports Stadium or something like that. And all that, and so, sometimes the Holy Spirit will come on us on this show, because it is a God show, and we will do something out of the blue. We never ask for funds or anything like that. But that day we got the inclination to just go, listen, let us try to fund this excursion. They wanted to go and see things that would allow them to see the world in a bigger way and to allow the kids to dream even more, right? And right away, my phone started pinging, our payment platform started pinging, Cash App, Zelle. People were just sending in donations. Can I say, weeks later, people were still sending in their monies. You know what I mean? And we asked him, how much will it take for you to pull this off? And he gave us a number, and you guys in the audience, you literally blew our minds, super exceeded it. And so that was in February. And then it took a while, because things are sometimes that way in our land, our motherland. It took a while. They went on vacation, and then slowly, this July, early July, they got to go on an incredible vacation. Now, what I don't want to do is to play some of the videos in the absence of Don, because he's going to be telling his stories around these videos and these pictures. And that's why I'm kind of, slowly just talking, waiting for him to show up. You know what I mean? Let's see if he is back, okay? But please don't go anywhere. Keep your dials locked right here. And please, please, please tell your friends that Don Francis is in the house and he's about to do something incredible, okay? All righty. Don, can you hear us now?
Yes, I hear you clearly. And I don't know if the family hears me as well.
Oh my God. The Ghana internet, sometimes I don't even know what to do. I just get really frustrated, just a tiny little bit. Something is going on. But you are most welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being gracious with us today.
Thank you so much to my younger self. Thank you so much to you, Zoe, my big sister. I call you my big sister. The title from what has changed to my big sister. And thank you so much to all the audience, to all the family to my younger self, everybody online, offline, everywhere, the team that makes up to my younger self. I came with a heart full of gratitude, so I'm going to be smiling throughout the entire presentation.
I love seeing you smile. Oh my God, it is so wonderful to see you, brother. Yes, and you know what? I love that our titles have changed. I like that you call me big sister. I feel really bossy right now.
It's an opportunity.
I know you came with vim. You came with incredible stories to tell. Now, guys, can I tell you, after they came back from the excursion, this guy is so meticulous that he put together a report, and I was blown away. I said, teachers do this in Ghana? And I didn't tell him this, but I want us to show how he put together this letter. Him and his, head teachers and all these people. And so here we go. I'm gonna show you. And he sent us a report. I mean, it's mind blowing. It's Honorable Joyce Bawa Mokhtari. Listen, Don, it takes to bring these guys out. Honorable JBM, I want to say thank you for joining us. It is so wonderful to see you. We know you're doing incredible work out there, and so keep up, just keep going. And you know how
And
we
I
love
love her so much. She works so hard.
you.
Seriously, I
Yes,
really love her.
we all love her. But listen, we're going to start slow today. We're going to start slow today. But here it is. Here it is. So, my eyes are going to be reading and squinting because I don't want to wear glasses on the show. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think I am old, But here is a brief report on their sponsored excursion. I know he's saying to my younger self did it, but honestly, the audience did it. All we did was sit here and collect monies for him. So technically, we were like his accountants. You know what I mean? So Don says that a brief summary. On February 14th, I, through the biggest privilege, appeared on your remarkable show to my younger self to share my story as a teacher in a rural community in Ghana. After the show, you have been instrumental both in my life and that of my learners, with the biggest of it all being the sponsorship offered us to embark on an educational trip to Accra to visit some historical places in Ghana, and on our curriculum as our curriculum admonishes, you provided us with funds and letters of support to make sure we could embark on the journey. Notwithstanding the few hitches that delayed us, we were finally able to, embark on the trip on July 6th, 2023 to Accra, the capital of Ghana. This document summarizes the trip. Charlie? The boy can speak English. I was just so impressed with him. And so he tells us the population size, 78 students got to go with him. And I believe 7 teachers. 78 people. So there was, I'm a little confused. Initial plan was 70 students and 10 teachers, but they got to go with 78 students and then 7 teachers. So that was incredible. And then he tells us the financial standing, how you guys donated the bus, which I kind of had a question about. I'm like, shouldn't the bus have been just given to them for free by the Ghana Education Service? But that's another story altogether. They had some fuel, what they did at the Kotoka International Airport, how they fed the driver, TNT to venues and other places, all kinds of things they did, the places they visited. They had some commendations on there and their comment era. So it's just so incredible. Don, how are you feeling? I just kind of wanted to start off very slowly.
Okay. So today I'm going to try to take it slow so I don't sweat as usual because this place is hot. But first of all, let me say thank you once again to the entire house. Thank you yourself. So let me first say this about you because the audience do not know about this. So right after we met, Nana introduced me to my big sister. She stopped being just a presenter or just an interviewer to becoming a big sister. She makes sure she asks about my own self, my personal life. She keeps me on track and everything. So formally, I've changed the title from boss to big sister. So whenever I write on Facebook and I see my big sister, obviously I'm referring to her. So that's the first thing I should say. Now, before I open up the entire thing, on February 11th, when I first became a teacher to my school, when I was posted to the school, the headmistress then called me to her office and was like, the SDA school is going down. So we are going to merge it with the DA. And you are young. We need you to go to that school and revive it again. Now, the problem was, how do I revive a school? Because I just came, a new person, young boy. The staff, they are all old. How do I revive a school? One of the tasks given to me was to make sure we increase our enrollment. Of course, you could find a class with 9 students in a class. Now, let me start by saying this. Before I came for this interview, I had done another admission for the SDA school, meaning that right from the excursion, the day we came back on that Thursday, the next Friday, we have been admitting students from day 1 until right now when I came for the interview. I don't even know whether I'll go back and admit another student to the school. So
I love it.
this is the whole thing. So our population is increasing.
Wow. Wow. I
So
just love
all right, I
hearing.
don't know how to start the whole thing, but right after I appeared on the show
Mm,
and you raised the funds for me, we began putting ourselves together. You know, initially, like I told you, the plan was just to send my class then, those group
mhm.
of children, they were just 23 in my class of
That's what I
SDA, but because
thought.
the school is a combined school, of course,
Uh-huh.
the SDA students are low, the population is very low, so they combined the school with DA. So we are two schools.
Mhm,
Oh, they combined them before I came.
mhm,
Yeah, they combined them before I came. So they actually it's combined though, but the SDA is relying on my shoulders. So
mhm.
after I got the funds, I informed my headmistress then, who was later transferred. You know, I appeared on 14th February on the
For
show. Later,
yes.
she was transferred from the school, but I took off the whole team,
Mhm.
wrote letters to the education service and the people involved. At a point, we were having a little problem. I have to call
Yeah.
Nana and then call my big sis. Like, these are the problems I'm facing. And they came through. So my younger self gave me letters of support. We sent it to the education, and they were also like, oh, this is a great thing. We'll support you. We'll give you the opportunity. You go. So we
Mhm.
came back. And the team that helped me plan the whole thing too was helpful because initially I had planned to send my class, but because we are a combined school, we did
Mhm.
as much and we extended the whole thing. We were looking for buses. We went to University of Education, Winneba, going about Metro Mass, going everywhere until we landed on that senior high school, which is German Senior High, right in our district. We landed
Mhm.
on their bus and we spoke with them, and they too came through for us. Their bus was air conditioned, and that is where the whole story began from. So once everything was set for the excursion, that is on
Uh,
the 6th,
mhm.
we did a sampling because the class 6 is going to GHS, and our GHS is not, we do not have a GHS of our own. The
Mm.
GHS is a bit far away from our campus, so it looks like once the children are from class 6, we do not have them anywhere. So we were trying to see if we can give a good farewell to the class 6 students, especially those students who were in my class, Krampa, Utabo, Wendy, and the rest. So we sought permission, and then we took class 6 of the DA, class 6 of
Mhm.
SDA, a greater percentage from there, and then my current class, class
Mhm.
5, we took some students from there, and class 5 of the SDA too. So in the pictures you'll be showing, you see the students are in different uniforms. It is one
Right.
school. So we it's the internet misbehaving.
A little bit, but don't worry. We're just gonna
Sure, we
keep
moved.
going. Yes,
So
we move.
that's all right. That's all right.
Mhm.
So we took some from class 4 as well, and I added one student from class 1, and we had our 78 students. And
Wow.
on the day we set off, now it's you should come and see that, I should state that this is the first time. The school has been established somewhere around 1978 onwards. I think they said
Wow.
1970s, but they had never been on an excursion. No
Are you
excursion
serious?
before, never. Yes, so it was the first time. It was the first time we were going on an excursion, and this was
Wow.
coming from to my younger self. So you should see parents as at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. I had a call from parents. Your children are up and they're waiting on you. I'm like,
Oh
3
my
a.m., please hold on.
God.
5 a.m. wake up. Then when I arrived at 5 a.m. by at the venue, the children were already there. Almost
Wow.
about 90% were already there. And a few teachers were there too, so they were with them. Now we arrived, and their zeal had already overtaken me because I should state that right from the beginning, even before the vehicle moved, I was already overwhelmed because the parents that showed up over there and the kids that were there, it was marvelous. But they
Mm.
came in their numbers and we took off.
Wow.
Then the story begins from where we took off. We took
Wow.
off and we set off. Initially, you know, from the village and going into town. And I should also state that one thing that made me go into the children's literacy, that is reading, when I came here in February last year, the children couldn't even express themselves. You talk to
Mm.
them and they are slow, they won't even speak back. So I decided to be their friend, like I stated in my previous encounter with you. I started to be their friend. So when we set off going to Accra, I felt that they might be timid because I already know them. So I decided to be their friend once again in the bus, and we spoke a while. So right from the first 1 hour from taking, or let me say 45 minutes, they were a bit timid. Then there's this small boy among them called Kobe. I've been talking about Kobe. Then Kobe was like, "Sir, you said the vehicle is air conditioned, but the car is hot. We are not feeling anything." So when he was able to speak to me in that tone, and like the others felt like, yeah, like say, yeah. So they were supporting him. And I was like, yeah, Kobe, is true. The vehicle is air conditioned. And I'm like, you have to ask the driver. By this, I'm not the driver. Then I heard them say, driver, air conditioned, driver, air conditioned. Then a few of them joined from the back there. Then coming up. Then I saw their vim and their morale coming up. I liked it until the driver gave them the air condition. Then
Wow.
they started to, can we sing the bus? Can we do this? Then they started seeing things. That was when we even got we got to Winneba Junction. They will ask you, say, is this Kwame Nkrumah? Because they saw the statues at the Winneba Junction there. So they were asking, this, we know Kwame Nkrumah has this in our books because I'd already told them about it. But then the next person, who is that? I hadn't taught them that Kwame Nkrumah came to Winneba for a reconciliation. So that
Wow.
was when they began their questions. And I was like, this is Kwame Nkrumah, this is a chief. Honestly, I had not even learned much about that. I didn't know they were going to be questioning me as much. So right in the beginning, I taught them, I told them, look, the way you are questioning me, when we go to Accra, anything you see, ask the question. So the whole hallmark was to ask questions. Now, they began their questions, we got fuel, and we started taking off. Then they will come and ask, say, can we sing? Say, can we do that? By God's grace, we zoomed into Kaswa. Big sis, once we were zooming into Kaswa, they had heard overhead. They had heard they had heard a lot of things about the cities. They've seen it in their books, but they didn't know about them. So once we were zooming into Kaswa, the first one, obviously, everybody was asking about Kaswa overhead. Then we're there at Kaswa. But honestly, you see, I do not even have much pictures because before God and man, I was so overwhelmed.
Wow.
When we were climbing into overhead, they will ask, say, so who owns this overhead? Like, who is it for? Who built it? They were asking questions that were reasonable. And I like it because as a teacher, questions from students are what makes, once they get the courage to ask you questions, then you can teach as much. You know their understanding, you know they want to learn. So they're asking similar questions. And honestly, I've been jovial all around when we started the excursion because I was their star man. Let me put it that way. But I didn't want to be like that. So I wanted them to explore more. So I kept telling them, look, some of the questions I can answer. Some we have to ask the top guys. Then I kept answering. Then we zoomed to Kaswa Tobu. Say, why are the people who are collecting the money not here? Why didn't they collect money from us? I'm like, the toll booth is in the construction. They said, say, but there's no construction here. So I had to tell them the truth that. Then some of them knew that from the news. Some of them knew toll booth collectors were on, like the government had asked them to park. So they actually began the whole thing before I came to answer them that yes, the government had bought an e-levy that's sought to take tax. So they took away. Then Evans was already adding up to the whole thing. Look, this whole thing has opened the children more than I ever imagined. So I educated them, then we passed through. Then they began asking, say, this water, is that the sea? Is that the sea? I was like, no, this is a river. This is a river. Then they asked, what's the name? You will be saying everything has a name. Yeah, and I'm like, it's river. Then so they ask, where does it start from? So I had this Charlie. You know, I'm a teacher, but you don't know everything. I asked me where the and before God the man, I had not known where the river began from. Let me be honest. I didn't even know where the river to start from. So I had to even Google for my phone.
Wow. Oh, Ghana internet. Muyayaka gomo. And did I say it right? I'm trying to throw in a Ghana insult, but it's not working. It's not gelling. Why are you doing this to us? The storytelling is so good. Sir Don Francis, hopefully we get to see you again really, really soon. I know, commercial break for sure. Commercial break for sure. We have so many videos to show you. We're just kind of trying to get Don to kind of, but before he comes back on, I know, I know. I think Auntie Doris had made a statement that while some people, she said it's very sad because others are being flown out of the country at our expense, meaning the taxpayers' expense, when others do not even know their environment. Isn't that, I mean, when you put it in perspective like that, it kind of really, it's heartbreaking. And Setinam says that Doris Eshan says serious, so a thing as simple as excursion for students, especially in rural areas, should be a thing. And maybe this is our mandate as a village, a community of storytellers, as a community of people who want to incept dreams and visions and aspirations into younger minds, that we begin to form a collective that will fund excursions from the rural areas into places. Who knows, maybe one day we can fund an excursion that goes to other parts of Africa, just so their confidence is boosted and they're able to dream. And so just before Don Francis comes back on, there's a video that I wanted to show you. I got so nostalgic with this video because I remember myself back in the day at St. John's when we would go for excursions at Elmina Castle. We would go from Accra to the central region, and all the Jama we were seeing, you know Jama, right? In the car. Oh my God, I got so excited. And so bear with me. I'm going to pull up this like a minute. It's a minute or so video, and the internet is doing what it likes to do best. But it will unhook. So give us a minute, guys. Give us a minute. Oh, Jesus. Have mercy, Lord. Have mercy. There we go. There we go. Let's see. This is them in the bus.
But here you used to have the very staircase. God, the person are playing in the playing the band, music and question, or part for yellow, right? Now, as in what echo band one day.
The videos are entirely too short. I think you guys were so excited you forgot to take enough videos, Don. You're welcome back. But we just showed them a video of, the kids in the bus, just doing their Jama and singing along to Coda and just doing hallelujah and all kinds of singing. And then to the airport. I think I found it so touching that the guide spoke in Fanti and English at the same time. It felt good. And then you see that there were people around. I saw some people who are probably coming from wherever in the world, and they became a part of the excursion. Just standing around with the kids. Oh my goodness. So to the audience, what are some of the Jama songs you guys remember when you went on excursions? Because I remember a lot of them. Some of them are not too right. So Don, right back over to you. There's another video we're going to show before we go into the pictures. But how about you take us all the way till you get to the airport, and then we'll come back and show another video. Did you get me? Don, can you hear me? Hi, Don, can you hear me?
So you saw that the one they were singing along with Coda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
The one they were singing along with Coda.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one they were singing along with Coda, we realized that we had initially told them, look, it's going to be a whole day's excursion. If you are going to start singing from the morning, then by the time we come back, you'll be exhausted. So please calm down and let's. But when we were climbing the mountain,
Oh, Obunsam Wenimi Hario. Let me say Ghana for there. See, I've reverted into my Ghana personality. This is not nice. What I just said was Satan is very but it's okay. We won't go far. We won't take it there. I'll play that video again just for the excitement of it, and then when he comes back, we'll let him take over the storytelling again. But I just got very emotional thinking about a big sister says here, Jamal leader here, best place to be when you're not an athlete. Exactly. And some of us were not athletes. Okay. We were Jama people. Chale, in those buses, the kind of things we were doing, the kind of songs but back in the day, we didn't really have radio in the buses. We were our own vocals, right? And then all our songs had our school's names in there, and the clapping of our hands. And it was just incredible to do that. Auntie Doris says, I am seeing great men and women in these humble beginnings. Saw young Kwame Nkrumah, that made me smile. I know. Mola Metafevi says, Elsie Dixon says, some of the Jamadia, stop crow. I know. Achade. That's how we used to do. And then they would start singing. I remember when we would go on the buses going to football games, right? We would sing songs like, we will put the songs of the people that we know were goal scorers. And we'll do Obi Bajeke Fahunyi form, Sahunyi Natu form. You better just Yamao, and then we'll just be singing. And yes, we would have the whistles. Beep, beep, beep. Yes, some of them were very, very profane. We will not do that here. But Don, you are most welcome. Welcome back.
All right. Thank you. MTN is messing me up, but please do forgive me. I really want to tell the whole story.
Yes.
But please, no matter what, you tell it.
We'll be here.
So when we're ascending the Kaswa overhead, and we've told them it's built by engineers and others. Whenever you ask them in class, who do you want to be in future? Then they will tell you, all they know is, the boys will just tell you, I'll be a soldier, a police, and a fire service. Most of it, about 90% will tell you these things because that's the only thing they know. So the last time we had friends, the white friends visiting us, and then they told them about aeroplanes and co. And they opened them up to engineers. And I equally took it higher by telling them engineers build, they build, they do the mechanics, and all of them are engineers. So when I told them, have you heard overhead? It's built by engineers. So whilst we were ascending it, so they asked me, so which engineer built this? That is when the song came, the Hosanna song came. And from there, controlling them was difficult. I won't lie, because their hopes were high. They were beginning to see things that they've already learned, and they are now seeing them and they could relate to them. So it was where they just picked up the entire morale for the excursion. And we went through right from then. Honestly, I didn't sit back right from Kaswa because I had to go forth and answer questions, come back, answer questions. It was just like that until we went through to. I remember when we got to La Paz, somebody asked me, say, is there nothing we can do about this traffic? Because there was a huge traffic somewhere from Nyamete, huge traffic. So they will ask, say, why is the vehicle stopping? They obviously have no idea
what traffic is. Oh wow.
They will ask, say, why is the vehicle stopping? Then I'll say traffic. Then they'll ask, is there nothing we can do? And I told them, you guys you have to grow up, come and build some of the overheads, and we can have easy flow of.
Oh my dear.
cars.
Oh
Then
yes.
they are like, okay, sir, when we go up, we come here, we build a lot for you. Okay, we went through. So then I chose the airport because most often it's the easiest thing that they see in the air and they've never seen.
Mhm.
And we had white friends visiting us last year, and an engineer from Nottingham University.
We should say visitors from the West. We cannot say white friends.
Let me say it that way.
let's
Thank you
let's
for
kill
correcting me.
it. Let's kill it down and say visitors from
Like that.
the West. Yes, let's put it that way and put it in
In the
perspective.
West.
White is relative. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was even led by an African, Prof Mo. We call him Prof Mo. Also linked by Nana Redam. Once again, let me say thank you, Nana, for everything. I can't stop saying
Big
thank you
brother
for
Nana.
everything.
Thank you.
So he came, yeah, so much. So he came and they did a lot of things, practicals for airplanes. And I had also done how do you call it? I did a small test about where they want to visit most in Accra, my class, and they chose the airport. So we went straight to Koteka International Airport.
Oh.
You know the funny thing, the most interesting part of what we found at the airport, we couldn't video it because of security reasons, and also obviously I was using a China phone.
Oh God. That is so hilarious. He says he was using a phone made by, we won't say the name again, but yes, we know what it is. Listen, before you get into the story about the airport, the pictures were so many that we decided to do a slideshow of it. So this is a very short video. It's about 3 minutes long. So guys, hang in there with us and kind of just go through the excursion with us, you know, and then he would come back and tell us some more stories. Okay, here we go. I'm just pulling it up.
Yo, my boy. Look at this girl. This girl.
Can I just tell you how emotional I got just watching those videos? It's so emotional for me because that is where dreams come from. I think I may have learned how to speak properly on a bus, you know? Dreams are made in these spaces, and I'm just so honored that we got to do this together. Don, back to you. I know you have so much to say, so oh, I think you froze again. We'll take our time to kind of read. Well, you're back. I see that you have unfrozen. How are you feeling, Don? Hello? Right now, I feel like a journalist speaking to somebody in a different country, and I'm just saying, can you hear me? I'm trying to tap on my earpiece and go, can you hear me? Hey, Don, can you hear me?
Empty and empty. Today is worse, but
It's okay. When you come on, you would start telling your story. But here are some of the comments that are coming in. It says here, I'm so happy for them. Reminds me of my own excursions when I was in primary and JSS. Yes, all the way even into SSS. We took some incredible excursions. Dixon says some of these kids will come on to my younger self in the future and speak to this younger selves. Dreams have been sparked and seeds have been sown. Now to water, prune, nurture, and feed. Chai! There's so many brothel people here. A teacher who knows his children personally. It's very rare in this day and age. Thank you, Don Francis. Your passion and dedication to these children is very hard to come by. EJOD says, Don Francis is changing lives one student and one excursion at a time. Ooh, I love that tagline. One student, one excursion at a time. My goodness. Auntie Doris says, teaching is a vocation, Don. Thank you for exemplifying it as such. You know, as we're talking about this, I'm reminded of Ibrahim Mahama and what he's doing in Tamale. He's also doing exactly this. Only he's built the dreams and made them static. And he said, come in and be filled with dreams where we are over at Red Clay. And who knows, maybe Don and his kids will one day be able to go into Tamale and actually be able to go into plains, see what a drone looks like, you know, go into some of these libraries and the Nkrumah Valini underground and see the art, see the Parliament of Ghosts. All of that you will find in Tamale at the Red Clay Studios in Tamale by Ibrahim Mahama. And so we are looking forward to that, for when that can happen for Don Francis and the kids at Francie Gomoa. I think Don is back. Hey, Don. Hey, there we go. Can you hear me, sir? Don, can you hear me? Hi, Don.
oh, so
Are you serious?
let me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All right, let's go.
is it okay?
It's slightly better. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going. Yes.
Oh. So you know why I'm having a poor network today. Last time I was with an MTN Tubonet, and unfortunately, one day I sent it to school to teach the internet, and the rain beats me. So the Tubonet, I bought it after I did the population asset census. That's the money I used to buy, but the rain beats me and it got spoiled. I haven't been able to buy one, so that's why today I'm suffering with my internet, switching from MTN, switching from Vodafone. It's not working, but we are always strong. So there's something I need to talk about the excursion. I really want everybody to hear that one. The interesting part of the excursion, we couldn't video it because security reasons. Okay. The interesting part of the excursion, we couldn't video because of security reasons at the airport. They agreed, even though it's an excursion, we needed memories. We shouldn't video. But let me try explaining this. So I have taught them that there are people we call pilots. We have cabin crew, the woman that dresses that way, and they've on my laptop. So when we got there was a girl that came and I said I'll talk about her. I should have indicated that girl. She's from the DA. Now I had already informed them in the bus that look, elders, people who are grown ups, they like children. So when you see anybody at the airport, especially when you see the cabin crew and the pilot, and you like them, just walk to anybody, greet them, and then introduce yourself as this person coming from this place for an excursion. But you just saw him and you want to say hi to them. So you see that there was a woman, my colleague teachers were taking her phone number. She had also come to Ghana to explore. So when the children went to meet the woman and were like, we are coming on an excursion, then she's like, oh, I am also coming from the States. Now I am coming to your country for an excursion, and you're also coming to your country, the airport for an excursion. Then they opened the tickets up to the woman. That was where the woman picked their contacts. So it began the whole thing. So when the young girl went to meet the woman and talk with her, and she came back, it's like the woman said she's coming from the USA, said, and then from a place called Virginia. Then she was telling me all those things. I said, did she tell you that? Then she's like, yes. Right from there, that girl, we saw a lot of pilots, Emirates, I think, and we saw Emirates, we saw about 4 pilots in their cabin crew. This girl boldly went to all of them, introduced herself. One of the pilots held her hand, walked across with her through the immigration to the last stage with the girl. They talked. She took, like, she asked if she knew the mother's phone number. The pilot took it, wrote it in his diary, and then the pilot in turn introduced the girl to his cabin crew, the ladies there. Then the girl instantly, this was a girl who was telling me she wants to grow up. I've forgotten what she said she wanted to do. Right from there, the girl said she will become an air hostess. Then she was so brave. Right from there, she was having a good time. She meets everybody that speaks. And you know what? Some of the people we met at the airport were people who were coming from villages, even far than ours, but they grew up to work at the airport. So it gave them a lot of hope. Some of the people, you see, we asked for somebody who spoke Fanti. So the lady came and was like, I am also coming from a village, even better than you. Yours is better than mine. But I grew up and today I am at the airport. So you can equally be here. Then you ask, what do we need to do to also come here?
Oh my God, this story is giving me goosebumps, and I'm trying so hard not to cry because it's makeup and all. And I really want Dawn to come back and finish that story. But to that young lady, and when Dawn comes back, we're going to ask of her name. But it's so important. EJOD says exposure is so important. Now they can have bigger dreams. Yes, now they can have bigger dreams. And I'm reminded of the same thing. My father came from a hamlet, really, not even a village. We can't quantify or qualify where my father comes from as a village. It's a hamlet. There's not but maybe 10 homes in that space. But to see his progress and now how he travels internationally and does what he does, and to see some of us where we come from, these farming communities, these communities that seem like the Ghanaian population kind of does not think much about us in so many ways. Exposure is so important. It is how we dream. And dreaming is so important is because that's how we get to put our original purpose in perspective. I'm using the word perspective a lot today. I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed today. Let's see who is here. Big Brother Nana, you are most welcome. He says Elsie Dixon and grows that work, so we'll catch up later. We'll see you later. There's so much being said about you, Big Bro, and so, just come back and watch later. We look forward to seeing your comments on here too, and your reaction to some of the things that kids went through. But that being said, we do want to take time to honor you. You've been so instrumental in not only Don Francis's life, but also in the life of these kids. And I think Don is back, I'm told. So we'll just go back and have him here. Just forgive me. If I start to cry and you see my mascara in dark circles, well, it is what it is today. Yeah. Don, you're welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us? Don't apologize. This has nothing to do with you. At this time, in this day and age, a country like Ghana should not be going through this. So this is not your fault. But can you tell us this young lady's name you're telling the story about?
So she's called Zelda. She's called Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah, Zelda.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think her full name. Yeah. So Zelda opened the entire crew. So when we went to the airport, and after just the introductory stage, someone asked, your children seem to be so enthusiastic. Do you know what? They want to learn. So we are going to divide into two so that each child can get their fair share.
Wow.
I like the fact that somebody from far behind saw the children's enthusiasm. So I was like, okay, take over. Then they divided us into two. So they divided us into two and they sent us, the first batch went from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. and we had a great time. They were so, let me say a very big thank you to Kotoka International Airport. There were places we went where they told us, look, you are the only school that we are giving you this opportunity. Some do not even come here.
Oh my
They
God.
took us to almost all the places to they divided us and gave us that rapt attention that made every child, they paid attention to every child. Although we couldn't get to video, they did so well. They allowed the children to ask questions too. They even asked all those foolish questions. That's something we think.
They're not foolish questions. These
Yeah.
are dreams. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
They gave them opportunity, and so the only thing is that they couldn't get to get into the plane, but they had
That will
all
be
the
another
fields.
time.
Yes, they had all the fields at the airport and spent a great time with them. My part I liked so much was that they met the pilots, they even met some engineers who worked on the aircrafts. So they met almost everybody involved, the immigration, even the taxi drivers that drove there. Everybody was there, and they met them right from the beginning to the end, and they asked a lot of questions. And you should be there. You should have seen what happened. I was so happy that even if they gave me the opportunity to even video, I had forgotten that I was leading the team on ISS.
I saw the videos. Let me tell you guys, their videos were like 12 seconds, 13 seconds, 7. I'm like, where are the videos? But when you're having fun, you almost always really forget to take pictures.
So,
wow.
Wow. And the pilots and the people, the workers there, they were like, once a while, if they have the opportunity, they should come back again and see more. They really enjoyed it. And right after there, we sent them to the Kwame Nkrumah Independence Square. Let me put it that way, Independence Square. And I remember, let me put this one. When we stopped at the Flagstaff House.
I'm going to put up the picture of them at the yes. So
before we got here, we stopped at the Flagstaff House, and I was about to tell the children. The class 6 and class 5 obviously knew the place. So as soon as we stopped, then one child asked me, "Sir, so how do we go to come here?" I was like, "You want to go and come here, then you have to be the president or a minister, or many of the security person, or even any of the workers in there, because all type of workers are there." Then they're like, "Okay, so if it's possible to come here, then one child, there's a small girl right in front called she's my daughter, the one in the middle, right on this picture."
Right here, she's holding her hand up like that. Uh-oh. I think we've lost him again. But anyway, yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, you can just tell us. Yes.
Yeah. So she was like, when she goes up, she'll come to the Flagstaff house. I was like, okay, you can come. It's possible. Then we drove through to the Independence Square. Here, it took us a lot of control to keep the children. Some of them had books. I saw a picture. I wanted to take that memory, but I couldn't. My phone was off. A child had a book with the Flagstaff house on the cover of the exercise book, had the book with this same black star square, that the whole of Independence Square on the book. So as soon as we get to the place, the child will take the book out and say, he said, here is it. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
so right at where we were after the group picture, I saw the boy with the book, and he has seen the picture. The picture is in his hands, and he's standing there. And it pains me. My phone was off. I should have taken a picture of that thing, and it was so nice. They had a chance to climb up, to go into the stands. They asked, so is it where when they're doing the safe match, the president will stand and said, yes, this is the same place, and they enjoyed it. And we also showed them the stadium. Right from there, they saw a lot of things. But we were, as at 2 p.m., the parents were calling because this is the first time the school had come on an excursion. So we
Yes.
just rushed them through and showed them this is the stadium. They couldn't, Nana gave us a ball. We got the ball
I
because
was gonna ask you. I
Yeah.
think we here. Let me pull up the picture of the football because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
definitely wanted to ask you what's the story behind this football.
Okay.
Because it's coming up in a few seconds. You'll see it
Sure.
here.
So
What's the story with this one?
great. So this football dates back to last year, somewhere around March 2022. The children had written a letter to me that they wanted a football.
Wow.
And I said long ago on my first presentation, I said we communicated by letters because I wanted them to learn how to write. So whenever you want to tell me something you like, you have to put it on a sheet. So they wrote a letter to me that they wanted a football. And I commented that he would give them the football, and he bought one for them. So when we're going to the stadium, this student, before the stadium, they had already written that they needed a football, but they didn't state they wanted to send it to the stadium on the excursion. So one day they came to ask me, say, this time we said Nana says he'll give us the ball, but we haven't seen it. And I said, what do you need it? Then they're like, we need it before we take off for the excursion. I'm like, is the ball having a connection with the excursion? Then they said they want to send it to the Accra Sports Stadium. I said, oh, is that the idea behind it? You're like, yes. So I communicated with Nana, and he had already made arrangement for it. So when we got to the stadium, they delivered it to us at the stadium. And you know what? Look at a Ghana ball, a ball with Ghana on it and the flag, and you are going to play it at the Ghana National Sports Stadium. So the children were so happy. Unfortunately, we had no time. So when we go to the stadium, we couldn't allow them to go and play. Even with that, they were so happy. And the ball right now, as we are speaking, it's break time. So they are playing the ball outside there. It's with them and they are playing. But they saw the stadium, although they couldn't get to play their football, they saw the stadium, and we took them through other places before we had to close up because it was their first time and parents had no idea what goes into excursion. So we had to send them back earlier than the time. Next time when they get the time, then we send them to. We couldn't get to enter to the museum as much to see all the things about, but they saw the places. They saw. I had already taken some of the children to the National Theatre. So they saw the National Theatre and they were asking, say, this is the picture you showed us. Then those I sent for the Uncle Ebo play, they were like, oh, we'll be here. Here, they do movies. They do, some of them know theater. So they're like, oh, so they became the guide for their friends. And we're rather educating them that this place has this, has that, and this is what we do there. So Naomi Otabo were the guide for the theater. They stopped the beats for a few minutes, then they educated them, then we took off. So that's what we've experienced.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
tell us about these young girls here. That picture was
now.
I don't know, taken aback by this picture.
Let me give you the story about this picture. These three girls. The first one is Naomi. I call her Ama Ata Edu because she writes so well. She likes to write. She is my current class. The next girl is Getty, and the last girl is uh, Franklina. Now, when we were zooming to Accra, they were asking a lot of questions, a lot of questions. So when we got to the castle overhead, and they asked me, say, who built this? Who is it for? Blah blah. Who is in charge? I joked, I kind of said it in a joke that, look, you guys are asking so much questions. I don't know everything. Then they mellowed a bit, they kept quiet. Then we go to the Kaswa toll booth and they saw the river then. So then they are like, say, where does the river then begin from? Then I'm like, please, please, my people. Look, I don't know. I have no idea.
All that.
Yes. And then before I could answer that question by going to Google before I could come and answer, this the last girl had already asked, say, the toll booth, why they know our work? I said, I don't know. As soon as I said I don't know, the one in the middle, Getty, was like, say, you, everything you don't know, everything you don't know. Are you not a teacher? So that was why she gave me that face. And apparently I was on my so I took a capture of that picture just for that. So after taking the picture, I told her, look, I'm joking. Then I took them back and educated them before she now gave me a nice face. So that's the story behind this picture.
That is so incredible. There's another picture that I personally just started to call what you call that? I started to call that picture the Big Six, and it's of these young men here. Let me pull it up. That I was so enamored by, and I kept saying, "Oh my God, I wonder what dreams, these guys have."
Exactly.
Oh my God. These are the big six. I see Kwame Nkrumah right there in the middle somewhere. Tell us about these guys.
Now from left, from left is following Hamper, the school prefect, and then Evans at the end. Now these are the children I began with.
Let me clarify because let me clarify because we're on screen. So is it the guy with the little bag on the or the sling bag? Is he the prefect? The guy with the bag, the little sling.
The little bag.
Okay.
Yes.
So
that's
no.
Okay. The guy with the bag is Prosper. Yes, he's Prosper, followed by Kelvin.
Okay.
Now, the last time I came on the show, I showed you a picture of a boy who was reading whilst walking. That is Prosper, the first guy. Wow. Followed by Kelvin Amo. He is the one I sent with Kobe to Winneba, the beach. And they were asking me, say, is this the Mediterranean Sea? He's the one I sent last year to the beach. Now, Kobe is the one in the middle. Kobe is the youngest in that class. He's just 10 years. He's almost 11. He's 10 years, but he's...
Wow.
He's the school's compound
prefect. You can see it.
Kobe is the student. Then, now Isaac Otabo, he's the one just by Kobe. And then from Kobe is Krampa. Krampa is the school prefect. And Evans, the last guy, is his assistant. Yes. Wow. So they're not all the boys. Somebody took this shot for me, but there's a lot of them who are not here. We have the likes of Jerry and the rest who are not also here. But these are some of the students that I began with. And I should say they are in the engineers of almost everything I'm doing because they have come to understand what I do. Like I tell them, we communicate. They are also my library boys. They come to my library, so they are most during school and off school. We are at the library, we are learning how to read. And I began with them because the first day I came, now let me give you this story. The first day I began to teach them, I wrote 17 plus 7. And I asked just Calvin to go and find the answer. He couldn't find the answer. Then I wrote CO. So I was working. But these boys represent the progress we have made from far. Because now these boys read. Now these boys are those who are writing me those letters you see on the internet always. And my current class has equally captured the zeal because these ones, they see what these ones do. You see, they see these ones. Yes. So the transformation, this is the transformation, but they began the whole thing before the whole school catches up. So these are some of them, but that's not all. Yeah, the females are there. Before I even came for the interview, the females had come to my class and they are writing story. I took a picture of it. Next time I'll send it to you. They are writing story. So you see, they represent my heart. Let me put it that way because they listened and they are growing. That is why. So I asked someone to take a shot for me. So these are some of my squad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are your squad. We're highlighting, guys, we're just highlighting some of the pictures. We put together a nice slideshow for you, but they were moving too fast. So we wanted to highlight some of the pictures for you and kind of, talk a little bit about them. This is one of the pictures that really got my heart. Also, I called this picture dreaming through glass, because we cannot imagine how many of them would grow up to be pilots, to be the people that literally go into these planes to go on business meetings anywhere in the world, and how that must have happened here. This is such an important picture to me. And I thought that I would show it to you guys because these kids are
Now
dreaming.
this picture.
Yes, yeah, they're dreaming, and
Now
it's because of you
the
guys.
pilot, the pilot of this same aircraft that was about moving, the one that's moving at the back there, they had met us at the beginning of the stage, and like I told my girl, they had connected with them. So when we got here, they had settled and the pilot was taking off. And I remember a child asking, "Oh, this whole big airplane is controlled by just this one?" And the tour guide, the lady at the back was like, "Yes." So when we got here, the the aircraft was taking off. Then the tour guide is like, you asked me if the man going is going to control the big aircraft at the back. They are like, yes. They say, look, you see the aircraft moving. That's the man you saw right now.
Oh my God.
Taking off with the aircraft. So everybody, you see nobody was talking. He was silent whilst we were all watching the aircraft take off. And we saw the other cabin crew join. That is why you see nobody was talking. They were just looking at it. Yeah.
Wow. That is a field of many, many, many dreams. It's like such a powerful picture, so powerful. I just thought to kind of put it up here. This is just incredible, Don. I have to say, you have done what Napoleon couldn't do. Just
Thank
I
you.
have no words for you. And I'm looking forward to even more excursions. I know you had plans to go to Decan Center, and I really, we want to work with Paul Ninson on that. By the way, I just see that on this picture here, To My Younger Self just did a free advert for EcoBank Ghana. Listen, guys, if anyone works for EcoBank, knows somebody in EcoBank, tell them to send us a check because this is free advertisement. You know what I mean?
They even asked me what the EcoBank meant.
Wow. See what I'm talking about?
They asked me what the EcoBank is on it.
So you never know. One of them might be a managing director of EcoBank years from now. We don't know. But we're just so excited that you guys got to do this. There's a few more pictures we would like to show. I think we've shown the big six. All right. And then this one here, I was so impressed with it because they were listening with rapt attention. It was so gripping. And I said, what were they asking? Like that boy in the middle, you can see something was sewn in his heart. And it was just so impressed with it. And so I just wanted you guys to see that, view audience. And I have to say, Auntie Araba, I don't know if you're watching or not, but she was one of our biggest donors on this journey. Auntie Araba, I want to say thank you so much. Because of you, this happened. There's a few of you, Hanatu, EJOD, a lot of you actually that sent in your funds. Some sent it directly to Nana, some sent it to us, and then we pushed it over to Nana, and then eventually some were trickling in, so we just pushed it directly to Don Francis on our own. A lot of you just did incredible. Because of you, we have these very fertile minds. This picture is just so powerful for me. So powerful.
It's about timing.
Tell me about it.
So when they saw the televisions there,
Mm-hmm.
and they began seeing the capitals of cities, and there were times they began asking me. Yeah, so I was the first person they asked before even the tour guide came. So as soon as she arrived, when they began asking the question, I was like, "You reserve it for the lady; she'll come." So when the lady came, then they began the question. So you see how Kobe is looking right into the lady. He was the first person to ask the question. Now my star girl is the one behind Kobe, and then Wendy in the I can't mention their names, but they began asking. So it means the airplane for this country is taking off at this time. Then I think they saw somewhere for it was for South Africa. I think one for South Africa. Then they asked because they have seen it in their maps, they see it in their atlases and co, and they know the capitals. So they ask, oh, a plane takes off right from that. So the people crossing, if they enter, it means they are sending them to that country. Then they say yes. But at this instance, before I took the picture, he asked her, what if I miss the flight? I think that was the part because there's a timing on it. Then the lady was explaining to them about missing a flight and everything that is involved. So when you come, you have to look at the television and see your timing. Yeah, that was why they were looking at
Oh
the
my
link.
God.
Yeah,
You know, if you've done it many times, it sounds like a simple thing, but it really is not
yeah.
for a child. And here's another one. I saw, these group of travelers. It seems to me they are traveling themselves, and they kind of just became a part of the excursion. And I bust out laughing, and I said, "Oh my God, look at that! There's other kids from other countries that are a part of the excursion now, and the tour guide,
Yeah.
it's just such a powerful picture. And when you look on the left side of the screen, there's some travelers who have now also become a part of the excursion. They're just standing there looking at the kids enjoying, having a great time. I just wanted to show you guys that. And Don, if you have a story about that, we would like for you
Oh,
to
yeah.
share too. Mhm.
Yeah, just exactly like you said. That's true. We had a lot of people joining us for the excursion because the children were lively. So we found, especially kids like those in the picture there, they just had to join because the kids were so lively. So we had even some of the people that worked there. I remember we had an immigration person who had, she said she had a 30 minutes break. Then she joined them because she liked the children. So we had a lot of people joining
Wow.
us at every
He, got-
stage
he
because they
he
liked
just
them.
went
Yeah,
for a break and came. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And here is maybe two more pictures and then we're done. But here is one that I was just so enamored by. I see them in a file like way, and you see it says passport control. And I thought, my goodness. And then to the right, you see a bunch of travelers. They have their bags, it just kind of paints a picture for you. And so now they know what a passport is. I'm wondering, did they get to go in there and see maybe what a passport looks like, for example?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. They
Wow.
got to see the British passports. They got to
Oh my
see
God.
Togolese passport, the Ghanaian passport. Because this was the last day that I could take a picture because obviously the places behind were all for
Yes. Mhm.
security reasons. So at here I stopped taking pictures. But far where the travelers are, you could see a lady sitting. That lady
Mhm.
met them halfway. She's an immigration person, met them halfway. Even though she's not with the tour guide, she helped them, give them about almost five type of passports and what passports are, or whatever you needed to travel. All of those things they saw them right from here. And I think they also asked them before we got here. They asked them, why is this place? People are not there. So many, not many people. Then are like, if you are going, it's security reasons. So you have to be a few people so that they can set you up and let you go. And they educated them before they took off. To you see the tour guide right in front of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my God. This is just so much fun, and we can keep going and going and going. And then we're just going to take you back a little bit to the beginning. This one here is really for me because I suddenly got transported again to that time when we would travel. Even though it was a boarding school that I was in, it was the excitement with which we would wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., get dressed, even before the bus. And the bus belonged to the school, obviously, but and I see their white socks and their shoes. I mean, their
Yeah.
uniforms are pressed, and there's parents there, perhaps a little agitated, maybe not excited for their kids, but this was just so incredible. And I just wanted to show that, and what you, Don, must have been feeling at this time when the kids had started to arrive in the morning, you know.
They were already there even before I got there. Behind me, I was with the parents at the back there. Just when I
Wow.
took the picture, this
Mhm.
this parent who was with the children, we
Mm.
we begged her to come back. She didn't. But
Wow.
the parents were behind me. I should have captured them as well. They were there and their kids are there and they are now trying to register them. We registered them before we left and we registered when we came. So their kids are there and they are listening to all the announcements and the bus is there
Mm.
and their parents
Wow.
are behind me. I thought I sent you a picture for. Let me add this, even though the picture is not there. I
Mhm.
had to add right after, we came back on Thursday, went for the excursion on Thursday. Then
Yes.
on the then on the Friday there was a parents teachers association meeting. Listen, I should have given you that picture. Please, sorry, but when we came for the parent, you should be there to see. It was the highest parents association meeting we ever had.
Wow.
Parents were there. Some will come, the mother will come plus any sibling, 3 people for one child. They were a lot of them. I took pictures as well, but I didn't know why I didn't send it.
No, you sent
Then,
it. You sent
yeah,
it. We just didn't want to show it
okay,
um, because I thought these are the parents of the kids. We did, the audience did a great thing for them, but we didn't want to kind of show that picture. I don't know
yeah,
why
understand.
we just thought let's make it about the kids this time around. But I saw the
Yeah.
pictures, and guys, I didn't realize that was really it. I just thought it was a meeting, but it was a meeting of a lot of people. But yeah, go ahead with your story. Yeah.
It was the highest we've ever registered. Usually, this time, parent teachers are taken out of the meetings, but
Mhm.
this time I went to be the deputy secretary, so I was the one taking the minute. And you should see, they when they told them the excursion was freely, it was given funded, and they were like, this time they have to pay. Their children will go back. They want to go twice before we vacate. We are like, no.
Oh, that is
And
incredible.
you should see the kind of zeal they brought. Even though I said nothing about the excursion, it was too much to bear because they were just, everybody wants to say something about being grateful because seeing it for the first time in the history and now I've had a date, it's 1970. From all those years till now, the first time, like they just have to come in their numbers and plead, yes, they will pay and other things. Obviously, that was not the reason we were there, but they just couldn't stop saying thank you. They were all over us asking, when are we going to back? And we're like, please, this is not why we called you. And right
But
from there, it
that
was,
being said, Don, I
it was
think that
yeah,
I think you've stumbled upon a very incredible thing. You began a movement of sowing seeds of dreams, and these parents see it. Education is so incredible that what you teach in the classroom comes alive when you're out there, and so yeah, that's not the reason you call them for the meeting, but I really think you carry a unique aura around you that maybe you should consider at least another excursion, maybe this time, if not, and just before you came on the last time, we're talking about Tamale and Ibrahim Mahama and the Red Clay Studios. So maybe
yeah,
if not to Accra, maybe this time to Tamale, and who knows what could happen there too. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to
yeah,
insert that there.
yeah.
Yeah. But here is
Let,
another.
let, let,
Go ahead. Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
you know what, to my self, my focus right now is what the outcome of the discussion. I should state this. This is what I really want to say. Like, listen, as soon as we came back from Friday, that Friday, I admitted 2 children at the SDA. My boss admitted 3 children as the DA. From Friday, Monday, Tuesday, a minute to coming here, I admitted Emmanuel Dankwa in my class before I came for the interview. Every day we admit a student. Now, imagine my headmistress charging me to make sure my school grows up. They sent me there to help increase the population. And it
Bro.
wasn't because I was just for an excursion. Now in my admission sheet, I have a minimum of 16 children for only the SDA. The DA, I think they will be somewhere over 25. So you see the impact of education. That's not all. You are teaching and you make mention of something, then the child will ask you, this in Accra. Just this morning, I was trying to teach them about volume, and I was telling them about capacity, and I had to explain the meaning of capacity. So when I told them, I told them, I said they should be fast at calculation. So I read the mental mathematics, and I'm like, find the volume of a box with this and with that, and the child will answer. Then when Akucha answered, it's called Richmond. When he answered, I'm like, you are so fast at maths. Then the one behind him was like, "Sir, he can be a pilot." I asked, how? Yeah, because the boy is fast at calculations. Before you read the question, he captures it. Then the friend says, the friend says he can become a pilot. And I asked, why? Why will he become a pilot? He says, oh, he knows a lot about figures and he can calculate the height the pilot takes into the air. I'm done. I'm done teaching.
You're done. Your job is done.
No, yes, no. So
Oh my
they
God.
get reflections from it.
Wow. Oh, my heart is full, and I believe everyone that
So
is
it's as
here.
that. And the impact, apart from what is in their head, too much, too much.
Wow. Wow. I think everybody who is here, our hearts are full, just so full. And I wanted to take time. I know this is not a picture, this is not the complete picture of all the teachers that went. This is just a
Yes.
section of them or a group of them. And if you can just tell us the name of the lady in the middle and then the incredible woman behind. She seems like so much fun in the blue shirt. But just tell us their name so that we can say thank you to them properly on the show.
All right. From back, she's
Mhm.
called Madam Jewa Charity. She was so enthusiastic right from
Oh,
beginning. If you check the pictures, you see she had fun. She
yeah.
even had fun almost more than all the teachers. She enjoyed it. Yes, and you should see the children rallying behind her, Charlie. It was so
Mhm.
nice. It was so
Mhm.
nice. Then behind me is Bridget Amo. Bridget
Mhm.
Amo, she's been so good to me. I call her my
Mhm.
girlfriend. She's been so good to
Please,
me. Yeah,
you won't be
yeah.
saying yeah, wow.
Then
Mhm.
and then myself in front there, Don Francis, but the other teachers who helped the team, who are not here,
Mhm.
Mr. Joseph Kapo, he was with the kids trying to control them. They had,
Mhm.
yes, Mr. Joseph here. You see,
Mhm.
right behind us, there were some kids at the back there. We
Mhm.
we tried to stop them. They wants to go there. So before we took our picture, he had gone to bring them back. And there were other teachers, Mr. Emmanuel as well. We have Mr. Akins too with
Mhm.
us. There were other teachers who were with us. So um they were the team. They were the team. They really did a great job. At a point, I was so exhausted, but they just took over, and all you had to do is just tell them this is what they are
What to
supposed to
do?
do. They
Yes.
took over. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And
So they
so
did it.
from to my younger self to all of you guys, you teachers, we just wanted to say thank you for helping Dawn. Thank you for helping the dream become a reality. All we did was to kind of ask people to fund it, and people came through incredibly. But it wouldn't have meant anything if you guys were not there supporting. And we just wanted to take time to say thank you to the teachers that helped make this a reality. And hopefully, this is not a 1 day wonder or a 9 day wonder, but that it becomes something more. Through what you teach the kids in the classroom becomes even more. Because they've seen. There's one last thing I would like to show, and this is purposely geared towards the audience, the people that donated. This is a letter from the school saying thank you to you guys, to everyone that donated in one way or another. Again, it's the panache with which the school has done everything. They just didn't take it and go, thank you guys, and left. They wrote letters. They were so meticulous. And I'm going to read this one because when I was reading it, I was just smiling and smiling. But here is what it says: a Francie SDA/DA Basic School. And of course, there's their address there, project coordinator to my younger self. And then they put Dear Sir. Letter of gratitude on behalf of the Parents Association and staff of the above mentioned school. We write to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone at the TMYS team for your generosity in sending our children on an excursion to Accra on July 6th, 2023, through our staff member, Francis Don. In the history of our school, this is the first time an excursion of this nature has happened, and we do not take it lightly. A total of 78 children and 7 teachers embarked on the journey through your generosity, and their feedback is beyond comprehension. We are truly grateful for this unique opportunity. Our doors are widely opened to receive your input in helping us provide quality basic education to the future leaders of our precious country. Accept our gratitude again. Thank you. And it is signed by Joseph Bafor Iwa, who is the head teacher, and also Dorothy Inku, who is the acting chairperson, Parents Association. Very well written letter, just so to the point, expressive, incredible, and all of this. We decided to read this for you, the donors, those of you who made it happen. In the background, Big Brother Nana Redamwa. Oh my goodness! Hopefully you're watching at some point. The kind of input you put in for all of the stakeholders who came in eventually, as much as it was a little difficult, like pulling teeth, eventually it came together. And seeing the end result is overwhelming. And so all of you who put your money into the dreams of these kids, this is for you, from them to you. And of course, to my younger self, saying thank you. Listen, if you feel that you want us to continue doing this, just funding dreams, field of dreams for young children all across Ghana, Africa, indeed, you know what to do. Just send your donation, just earmark it and say field of dreams. Okay, say this donation is for Field of Dreams. And who knows, we will do some back talking and see if Don Francis wants to take up the charge of being coordinator of the Field of Dreams at some point in the future. But you know what to do, you know how to show your support. We don't ask for much, we just ask that you help us to fund these dreams. Fund these dreams. Don, we are at the end of today's session, an hour and 32 minutes. You and I, we can go on and on and on and on. The other thing, and I don't want to end on a bad note, but the other thing that I really wanted to talk about was the bus. I was thinking to myself, why did we have to pay for the bus? But then I realized that the school does not have funding for their own bus. So they had to go and take a bus from another school. And I was thinking, well, that other school also kind of needs to fund their thing. So it's okay that they had the business document to charge for it. But I was also thinking, could they not give it out for free? I don't know. I was having a whole emotional thing going on there. But yeah, Don, the bus looks really nice. It's incredible. And the bus is donated by Get Fund. So I was thinking, don't the basic students also get something from the Get Fund? And should they not get the bus for free? That's a question that we have to answer in the back, But from all of the kids, and Don Francis and everybody, we really just want to say thank you. Thank you. And Don, as we're just about to wrap up, actually, how about I read my cue cards, and then when we come back, we'll give you a chance to say something, the last thing you would like to say before we sign off. But
Yeah.
the one thing I wanted to start with was that nothing happens or starts in a vacuum. Okay, and if you keep pushing and you keep asking, it will work. Nothing happens in a
Sure.
vacuum, as today's storytelling has told you. Suddenly there's so many dreams because they saw with their eyes, they felt with their fingers, they communicated, exchanged words in person, spirits were exchanged, and dreams were incepted, and so there's some things we would like you to do for us as storytellers of African origin. We want you to put your money where your heart is. Put your money back in Africa. And here are some of the few people we think you should kind of patronize. Core Designs by Ruby Bois, Ryle by Design, by Ryle over in Nyack, New York, Wear Ghana by Rabna and her team. And in fact, Don Francis is wearing a Wear Ghana clothing right now, or design right now on the show. Music for Your Quality Feed by Uncle Ekofi Show. Avonzige Bridal, Humanity Chat by Margie Marge, Kings and Credo by Nana Sapon, Horseman Shoes, Kelm Beads, Caveman Watches, of course, Big Brother Nana Redamo's Book Nook. Guys, you want to buy all your books on Book Nook, because he just doesn't take your money and kind of just, says, hey, I'm a book distributor or something. He actually funds dreams with your resources, because Don Francis and his class have come this far because of what Book Nook and Nana Redam are doing in the background. And right now, I'm sure my phone is blowing up, because if he's listening, he's probably saying, Zoe, stop mentioning my name. But we want to say thank you. And so just put your money right there. Mr. EKD, Auntie Araba, Jane Fiorito, Rose Machayo, Auntie B of Exceptional Care, all of you guys who keep sending in your monthly donations, just helping us be what we're doing now, be storytellers on the African continent. We want to say a big, big, big thank you to you. God bless you so much for being who you are. Don, we're just signing off now. What is the last thing you would like to say before we sign off?
All right. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody. First, to my younger self. I'm your project coordinator. I don't know who the person is, but the person is so lively and so gracious. Thank you to everybody at the
There's
team.
about
Everybody.
three of them.
Elsie
Yeah.
has gone off, but she's incredible. Yeah. So please say thank you to all of them. Please, all of you are grateful. Now to Nana Red Amwa. Nana, please. I sometimes, when I'm overwhelmed, I don't even have the words. I don't have them. But God bless you, Nana. God bless you. He's always. And you text him at 1 a.m. seeking for an answer, and I'll answer you, do this, do that. Sometimes you write plenty, then I'll come back with a sentence, do this. That's all. Nana, thank you so much. God bless you. And to all the audience following to my younger self and following me on Facebook, anybody, please, we are so much grateful. Now, my last words. I think it was Martin Luther King who said we all came from different boats, but where we are right now, as we are going, what we are looking forward is what we are all together going to achieve. I am not a great teacher, no. I'm just a young man looking out for the dreams of our country to come together. But you outside education, whatever you do, I just received books last Friday from my mommy, Charlotte said, whatever you are doing, you can support us in making basic education very incredible. Whether it is old books, new books. I still have children in my school who have no standard. We are trying to raise a library. We are doing a lot of things. We don't even need money as much. Whatever it is, your ideas, even how to teach, we still welcome them all. So please, always keep following to my younger self. We are here with them. And to you, my big sister, yee, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. So I'm done. And thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Oh goodness, Don, you can make a person cry. What an incredible young man you are. And every time I look at you or see you online, I just get a flood of emotion, which is pride at your growth, pride at who you are and what you mean to a country like Ghana and Africa as a continent. I look forward to seeing you in bright lights, your name just, being who you are. For people like you, there's nowhere to go but up, and in some ways you kind of think it would be so great to have Don be the teacher that he is all of his life, but that would be so unfair to you, because there's so much capacity for you to grow. And I'm looking forward to that growth. I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm also praying that there will be a group of people who hold you no matter what's going on in your life, that they are there supporting you consistently all the time. Rachel Dodu says, and very much needed in all schools. That is so true. Oh, and yes, Rachel also has a line. Rachel, if you can put your company name, for some reason, I'm having a brain freeze right now because I'm so overwhelmed, but please put it there for us. This has been, yes, we should vote him for CNN Heroes. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know how we do it, but can somebody send me a link somehow, and we will vote him for CNN Heroes. And we will ask all of Ghana to go in there and vote for him. Don deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. And I, for one, I am your biggest cheerleader. Yes, RD Collection by Rachel Dodu. I've had the pleasure of using her product. So please, you want to definitely patronize that too. I know, Lady Juliet, today, dear, you have to go back. We had some internet issues, but let me tell you, powerful show. I'm trying to unhook, but I don't want to, because it's just so great. Just reveling in this field of dreams that Dawn has very meticulously painted for us today. I'm so honored. Listen, next week we will have the originally scheduled guest, which was Ohineyere Giftianti, with us, and we'll be discussing her book, When Strong Women Cry, and some other things, incredible things happening in the background. That woman is to me what Don Francis says I am to him. She is a woman that I would text and say, Auntie G, so-and-so, and she would just kind of, again, she's like Nana Redamwa, because she also wouldn't give you long sentences. She would say, Zoe this, Zoe that. Incredible woman, talking about dreams. I used to watch Gifty Auntie when I was 7 or 8 with my dad at 7 o'clock news back in the day. And I would remember saying to myself, one day I will speak like her. Can dreams actually come true? I think they can. Because here I am doing what she's doing, hoping to do it even more and bigger. Can you imagine that? Looking at someone on TV and saying, I will be like you. Dreams. And now she's one of my biggest mentors. They do come true. Guys, it has been wonderful being your host, being your show presenter, being your storyteller extraordinaire, and curator of storytelling. Guys, I love you. I really do. Today, you have blown our minds. Don Francis, we truly love you. Let's end, because I will go into another rant. Let's end. We love you. We will see you next week. Enjoy your week. Remember, nothing happens in a vacuum. Keep dreaming. My name is Zoe Baraka. We'll see you next week. Bye.
what you're shown. What where jacket, what you're shown. Kaja Israel, Kabayi, Kaja Ethiopia, Sudan, what you're shown. Kaja Ikushima, you know, what he may go now, what you're shown. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. What where jacket, what you're shown. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. Machetaki, you know Sumanguru, you know what where jacket, what you're shown.